If you want to feel like you're walking through an apple orchard, you need to try out the Apple Whiskey Fizz. Let me show you how to make it. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, I'm the Whiskey Nerd, and like I said, this week I'm making a cocktail that'll make you feel like you're in an orchard because I'm making a very nice apple and whiskey fizz. It's a simple enough cocktail, it's great for summer, and I got the idea for the cocktail when we were reviewing this whiskey right here. This is the 2 Stacks Blender's Cut cask strength whiskey that was finished in Apple Brandy casks, which gave it a really nice, really rich, kind of fresh apple note on the nose and kind of a stewed apple note on the palate. So I knew I had to make a nice kind of appley cocktail to really kind of line up with this whiskey. Now, if you can't get this whiskey, or if it's very expensive where you are and you don't want to spend it, you can use another whiskey. It just won't be as appley in the final result because what we're using to really give it a good apple note is this. This is an apple sugar syrup. So what I did was I just got 100 ml of apple juice, 150 grams of brown sugar, a cinnamon stick, half of a star anise clove, a couple of cloves, and then just stirred it up, stewed it down for about 15, maybe 20 minutes until it got nice and thick. And I got this really nice thick sugar syrup that's kind of like a spiced apple juice that really does go well in a lot of kind of fresh summery cocktails, but especially well in this cocktail. I will be using a little bit of lemon juice and some soda water to give us a kind of a brighter note and to kind of lengthen the cocktail. But another star of the show is this ingredient right here. This is the smoked pear bitters from Barra Bitters. They're a bitters producer here in Ireland. If you can't get Barra Bitters, you have my sympathies first because they are making some very nice, very tasty products, and this is one of them. It really does kind of work well with the appley notes in that syrup, in that whiskey, to give you kind of like an orchard vibe. The bitters itself, they're nice. I mean, they say that there's lemon peel, cassia, allspice, black peppercorns, there's loads of other ingredients in there. It's kind of like if you took maybe 1.5 dashes of Angostura bitters, half a dash of orange bitters, half a dash of maybe walnut bitters, and you'd be kind of close, you'd be almost there, but it does have this really nice smoked pear note because the number 1 ingredient in the ingredients list is smoked pear, which does give it this nice, well, kind of like smoky pear note, which does work well in a lot of drinks because it's quite concentrated, but once you lengthen it out, that smoky pear note really does come alive in the cocktail. So that's enough talking about the cocktail. It's time to make it. And like I said, it is a very simple, straightforward, summery cocktail. So we are going to be building it in the glass. So we're just going to get a nice, tall, highball glass filled with ice, and we're going to measure out our ingredients. We're going to start off with our sugar syrup. We're going to go in with 20 ml of this because it is very rich, it's very sweet. It does have this kind of spiced applesauce vibe because we went in with all those kind of dried spices, which gave us a very nice flavor. Yeah, it's kind of like a spicy kind of apple cider you'd have at Christmas. So it does have a lot of flavor. If you like a more of an apple flavor, you can even use more of it, but I think 20 is a good balance for this. We'll go in with 10 ml of freshly squeezed lemon juice just to give us a little bit of a kind of a backbone of bright flavors. You don't need to use lemon juice in cocktails like this, but I think it does work well to just give a nice kind of bright bit of citrus to our cocktail. Next up, we'll go in with our whiskey. This, like I said, is cask strength. It comes in at 63% alcohol, so it is very heavy and very full on. So I'm only going to be going in with about 45 ml of my whiskey. Like I said, it was finished in Apple Brandy casks. Oh, and that has had such a great influence on the whiskey. Like I said, the nose has all these kind of fresh apple notes to it, and then the palate does deliver more of a stewed apple note, so it's going to come through very well into our cocktail. Lastly, we're going in with our bitters. Just going to go in straight up and down 2 dashes of our smoked pear bitters just to give a nice bit of flavor into the cocktail. Before we add in our soda water to kind of lengthen the cocktail, we're just going to give it a quick stir just to make sure all that sugar syrup is nicely incorporated, and so we don't stir it with the soda water in there because that'll just cause it to fizz up. Okay, that is nicely stirred down now, so I'm just going to get ready to pour in my soda water, just plain old unflavoured soda water just into there, just to top up the cocktail, just like that. I'm going to give it a final little stir, just so we don't knock out all the bubbles. We're going to use our straw for that, just to make sure everything is nicely incorporated into our cocktail. And for a final little garnish, just going to put a little bit of dried lemon wheel over the edge, just like that. And that right there is how you make an apple whiskey fizz. Now real quick, before I taste this cocktail, if you're new here, scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. I put out cocktail recipes every Friday, and I put out whiskey reviews like the one reviewing the Two Stacks whiskey every Friday. So if you want to see that, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button. But for now, let's taste this cocktail. Cheers. Oh, that's lovely and fresh. That is bright, it is tasty, it is sweet. The sugar syrup definitely has a nice amount of weight in there. I mean, if you went in with 30ml, it might just taste like apple candies. As it is, it doesn't overpower the rest of the cocktail. It kind of leaves it with a kind of a stewed apple or apple orchard note into the cocktail. The whiskey does have a nice bit of weight. If I went in with 60ml, again, probably would have overpowered. At 45, it's nice. You get a bit of like the heat of the whiskey does flow through you, but it's not overpowering. It's not a spirit forward kind of dry cocktail. It just gives you a nice bit of flavor. The lemon juice is pretty much hidden by the rest of the cocktail, but if you've ever made an apple pie, you know that a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of citrus makes the apple really kind of get highlighted, and that's what is done here. The smoked pear bitters, again, it's not the most overpowering, not the strongest of note, but it just adds a nice kind of bit of depth, a bit of richness to the cocktail. Yeah, as I go in, I'm getting a little bit of smoke, maybe, because the smoked pear bitters, obviously, there's a bit of smoke coming through from there. The Two Stacks whiskey does have a little bit of peat smoke in there as well, so I think the two have combined into just a very nice, very simple cocktail. But maybe you have your own version of a very nice, simple, summery cocktail. Let me know down in the comments below, because I'd love to hear from you. While you're there, let me know what kind of cocktail you want to see me make in future. But for now, I'm going to keep on enjoying this, and I will see you next time. Sláinte.